Number 9 on our Cache Valley Media Group's list of the top 25 Aggies for this year is Hunter Reynolds, the safety, who wears number 27. He's from South Orange, New Jersey, transferred here from the University of Michigan. In fact, in his 4 years at Michigan, he was in 20 career games and had 22 tackles. Last year, he almost went 4 more times that, making 83 stops for the Aggie defense, number 2, only behind Justin Rice. He also recorded 4 tackles for a loss and had a sack along the way, recovering a fumble and had an interception. So he can make big plays. He's been on winning teams before in high school. He made the Aggies a winner last year with his transfer here in the secondary. And we look forward for a big year this year. Number 9 on our list is Hunter Reynolds.
I like Hunter Reynolds here. I actually had him just outside the top 10 and on my list, but I'm totally okay with him being a top 10 player.
I'm going to need to double check where I put him. Give me a second.
But it's certainly an impactful player for USU last year. I don't always love that your safety is second in tackles, but he was definitely an impact player who made a difference in the secondary for Utah State, doing a lot of different things. We've talked about versatility before, especially at the safety position, where somebody can drop back in coverage, can come up and be a support with the other linebackers. And look, the guy, as a safety, had 4 tackles for loss and a sack. He also knocked down 3 passes, grabbed an interception. The guy did a little bit of everything for Utah State. They're going to need him to be a lot like that again this year, though I feel like he's going to have more help in that secondary where he may not have to do so much himself.
Yeah, he may not be, maybe he'll be second in tackles, but I'll say this. I looked it up. I had him number 10. So this is right about where I had him. I do agree as far as you don't want your safety being up there in tackles. I mean, him and Shaq Bond were I think they were 2 and 3. Of course, Justin Rice was way up there in terms of the lead, so he was always making plays. And I guess if he didn't make the play, then one of our safeties made the tackle, I guess. But one thing that stuck out to me is at the end of Blake Anderson's, or towards the end of his interview after the scrimmage, he was asked about Hunter Reynolds, and he had a lot of praise to say about him. Now, one thing he said is that Reynolds isn't really a super dynamic player. And you can kind of see that in the fact that if you look at the guys around him in terms of tackles like Shaq Bond and Justin Rice, they were making tons of plays. Both Rice and Bond had 3 interceptions each, multiple forced fumbles, a lot more sacks, tackles for loss, and different things game-changing plays. Reynolds didn't have a lot of those. He did have the 4 tackles for loss, which is kind of exceptional for a safety to have. But not much in the way of sacking the quarterback, which again that's not his job. But again, 1 interception. I think he might have recovered 1 fumble, but no forced fumbles. So those super game-changing plays he's not making. But the thing that Blake Anderson talked about is that he's consistent. He basically said he was the most consistent guy out there, a coach on the field. Calms the defense down. He's an everyday leader. He's using all of these phrases to describe Reynolds, and that's a good thing to have. He's not the Justin Rice, he's not the Shaq Bond, but you want a Hunter Reynolds out there as a leader, as a guy making consistent plays, pulling his weight and doing his job, because that brings value. And then you have other guys that are making those highlight plays, and you have a complete defense.
Right, it elevates a lot of the other guys around him. Yeah. He had a nice interception Saturday, kind of a tip drill. Pass was tipped, and he got under it to pick it off. But yeah, just one of those elder statesmen, if you will, in that secondary. Which not necessarily saying that it's a lot of youth and inexperience there, because that's a position group that we're very high on this year. But he definitely has that experience and that talent to help anchor it. He may not be the guy that makes all the spectacular plays, but he's going to be in the middle of a lot of plays.
Yeah, he's going to be helping. Again, he'll probably be towards the top in tackles again, making those plays with the linebackers, with the strikers. Gervin Hall's probably going to be making the big hits. Dominic Tatum maybe work on that coverage. Maybe he'll get a few interceptions, or maybe other corners in the secondary will get the interceptions. But Hunter Reynolds is going to be a steadying presence who will just make this defense better in general, even if he's not the guy on the highlight reels.
That's number 9 on our list of top 25 Aggies for 2022.